Welcome in, everyone. Thrift Behringer here, and it is finally time to go ahead and have the debut of this year. This is year number 3 of Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs, our interview series we started a few years ago, and I didn't think there was a better spot to start this off than a school that has 12 state championships they won this year, individual and team. And I'm with the athletic director and head men's basketball coach who won one of those state championships, Calvin Thomas. Calvin, thank you so much for letting us be here.
Thank you all for having me. It's a blessing.
Yes, sir. And we are live from the Beck Center. Thank you to Roger Beck and this fabulous facility that is going to be home to a lot of things for Georgia Alabama Sports Live in the near future, including Media Day. So we thank Roger Beck, and I know you do as well, Coach. So I guess we'll kind of start there. This facility, and now in year number 2, it's just been a game changer for Pacelli Athletics. So what is your relationship with Roger Beck been in the Beck Center this last year?
Coach Beck is a blessing to us in the Pacelli family. He provided us with this facility, and we can utilize it in many different ways. It gives us chances to, we can have multiple sports going on at one time, and we don't have to wait, or our sports don't have to miss a practice because we can utilize this facility. We also have a top-notch training facility down here for our athletic trainer, so they can come in, they can get prehab, rehab, which is a blessing for our young athletes.
Yep.
And we also have the event center, so it's just overall a blessing. And like I said, Coach Beck is a selfless person, and whatever he can do to help, he does it.
Yeah, and I'm always going to be appreciative of him. And we host our Inside the GIAA show and a bunch of other things here. And so I'm glad that we're able to be here to start off Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs. Welcome back, everyone. As I said, Sitting with Athletic Director, State of the Programs, and we're going to go through every single season. And I promise you this, I have learned my lesson of the last 2 years. We will not leave off a sport. I promise you, me here, Coach Calvin Thomas and Chris Gates, all our minds together. We're going to make sure we talk every single sport, and they deserve it, Coach. But first, I want to talk about year number 1 for you. It feels like a whirlwind, man. It feels like this time last year, you were talking about, man, I've been on the job for 3 weeks. Yeah. Now it's been an entire year. Now you can kind of look back and reflect. How do you think it went for you?
Man, listen, I had an amazing year, just from the atmosphere to the people, the faculty, the fans, the community, the sponsors and donors. I had an amazing year. Yeah. It was an amazing year. We won 12 championships. Yep. Our sports excelled. We had some new hirings. We just, we kept to the purpose, and stand to our values, right. Faith, honesty, loyalty, and respect. We just did some things, and we're steady progressing. That's what I love about Pacelli. Every day we're waking up trying to see how we can get better, how we can help our kids, how we can help our community. People were great help to me. Like I said, I was coming in, new environment, new area, and I had to learn the law of the land.
Right.
People were, gracious in helping me, showing me the things, the things that we've done in the past, the things we want to change, and just different ideas. So it was an amazing time, man. And I want people to hear this too. I'm still learning. Even though I got past my first, I'm still learning.
Right.
But it's been a great time here, and I love it. I love it.
I want to talk about some of those people that have helped guided you. You got a phenomenal boss, Miss Brewster. You got Mr. Lelio, and talk about Miss Ernest. Obviously, Miss Salito, who's in charge of media relations, who has been a whirlwind and making sure I have stats and everything, up-to-date information on all things Pacelli Athletics. Talk about that group, and also your assistant AD and Bryant Thomas. I mean, this is a team effort to be successful here at Pacelli. I'll let you talk about it, Coach.
Listen, I believe we have the dream team. You got Lance Henderson also.
Yep.
From the front office all the way down to the church. We are the dream team, and we're always willing to help, sit down, put our minds together, run ideas by each other.
Love it.
And everybody is committed to step in roles that might not be theirs.
Right.
And that's big. If I miss a day, like you say, my assistant AD, he can step right in, and we don't miss a beat.
Right.
we even can have principal or anybody else step in place and we don't miss a beat. And that's what you look for when you go to an environment. When you go to a working place, you want to be around people, like-minded people who's willing to work, willing to help. And, you know, that's what we have here at Pacelli, and they are the absolute best.
Teamwork makes the dream work. That allows you, if y'all are on the same page, then the message to the kids is on the same page, and now everyone can be successful, from the coaches, admin, all the way down to the players, everyone involved. And that's what you're seeing here, and why the success continues off of Corey Black. And what a seamless transition in year one for you. You win 12 more state championship and just keep the ball running. And again, that is credit to you and everyone here at Pacelli, Coach. But you did make mention, I want to kind of wrap it up with this before we start getting to the sports. You're always learning. So are there things that you want to kind of improve on for year number 2? Do y'all have some things that y'all are working towards, like, all right, that didn't work this past year, let's do something different this year?
Absolutely. You know, we always come up with different ideas of things we want to improve on. I think the thing is always, you never want to be content. So even if we did something good this year, we want to do it better next year. So in every area of Pacelli, we want to improve. So it's all across the board for us.
Yeah, and well, I'm excited about this upcoming year. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from break, we're going straight into fall sports. We had a successful start to last year for the Pacelli Vikings. We'll get into all those fall sports coming up next, and what we got coming up this year here, sitting down with an athletic director, state of a program on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers and Northside Patriots, the Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars, to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia, Alabama Sports Live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next. Welcome back to Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs here at the Beck Center with the Pacelli Vikings AD, Calvin Thomas. And let's start with football. It's kind of the tone setter for all the sports, for every single school. And you got a guy and a legend in Dwight Jones. He is retiring, and he had an incredible career here, winning a state championship. And you went out and you hired Smitty Grider. So I'll let you talk about last year with Coach Jones, and how excited you are for Smitty Grider taking on in here year #1.
Absolutely. Like I said, you know, I came in, that was my first year with Coach Dwight, a true legend, and we're appreciative for everything he did for our kids, for our Pacelli program.
Right.
But then we moved on. You know, I hired Coach Smitty Grider, who I have the utmost respect for, you know, another legend.
Right.
And I'm just excited, man. He came in with the wheels turning. He got our guys doing 7-on-7 camps that we,
awesome.
You know, we haven't done that in the past. They've been excited. I was actually able to catch the Auburn one last week, which was big, you know, and they look good out there. But, you know, he steady just promoting what we promote for Pacelli, you know, turning our young men into better men for society. And they just grinding like we do, you know. I honestly, you know how we feel, it's either championship or bust. We want to be the best at what we do, and he's coming in, implementing those behaviors, you know, and those habits into our kids these days, and that's what you love.
100%, man. And again, for all those that are watching out there, I should have put a disclaimer when we started. We're going to go into each one of the sports, but each sport will have a time during media day throughout this year. We're going to have a fall sports media day, obviously football media day. We got basketball media day. We'll have spring sports media day. So everybody's going to have a chance to get in front of a microphone and talk about their sports. This is kind of a recap and kind of a small preview as we're trying to hit on every single sport. But I'm excited about the football team. You also, the addition of Damian Daniels as defensive coordinator, that's a huge addition. And I think big things are on the horizon. August 8th is the first exhibition game. Dude, I don't know if you know that or not. That's less than 2 months away. We're already at football season, man.
Absolutely, man. Listen, it's right around the corner, and it feels like we just ended last season.
Right.
But like I said, man, Coach Grider has come in. He's implemented his system. He has a great staff that he's bringing in, like you mentioned, Damian Daniels.
Right.
Also, we have Gillespie, our offensive coordinator, which is a wizard on the offensive side, you know, along with a few other coaches. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited. You know, one of the things he says is, you know, when the offense on the field, don't go to the concession stand. So, man, listen, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Actually, and not too many people know this, football is actually my favorite sport.
Oh, wow.
Literally, football is my favorite sport. So I love to watch football. So I'm excited to see where Pacelli is headed now.
I am too, man, and I want to piggyback off before we move on. One of the big things, and me and DJ, we talk about it all the time, DJ Jones, when we're doing our morning show, Smitty's first thing was, well, we're going to throw the ball. It's going to be aired out. And I promise you, everybody's is excited about that type of brand of football here at Pacelli, and we cannot wait. August 8th exhibition, and then August 15th is the first game. I mean, I cannot believe it's already here. So we're excited about that. All right, moving on from football, which is important. You want them to set the tone, because if football has a great year, it kind of is the catalyst for the rest of the sports. I'm going to then go to a sport that won a state championship last year in volleyball. Coach Schoenborn won a state championship, the first in Pacelli history. Incredible season this past year. But Coach Schoenborn is now moving on, and you had to make a new hire. But I want you to talk about Coach Schoenborn and what those girls were able to accomplish last year, winning a first state championship in school history.
Absolutely. That was a fun time. That was my first time actually being in a place where volleyball was as electric as it was.
Right.
You know, the volleyball games was a different atmosphere, you know, and that's a testament to Coach Jillian. She did an amazing job. We appreciate her for all the years she has given to Pacelli, and we hated to see her leave. But we just passed the reins on to Coach Trotter, our new volleyball coach, which I'm excited. You know, we're getting, right now we're in that, I call it the ugly time, even for my program, where, you know, we're learning new people, we're learning our new identity, you know, and we're just building those relationships. But I'm still excited because she has the wheels turning too. You know, they have started their summer workouts. They've been in the weight room, been in the gym. And, you know, I like the direction we're headed.
Included Sophia Salido, Hadley Schoenborn. They're moving on now, but Anna Dew's coming back, who was great last year. I mentioned Shannon Menifee. So the team still got loaded full of talent from winning the state championship last year. So it's going to be a big season, and I'm with you. I never called a volleyball game ever until this past year. And I actually got to call that Brookstone Pacelli State Championship match. Unbelievable, trash talking, electric, a lot of passion and energy. If you've never been to a volleyball game, you don't get to speak on it. You need to go to the gym right now and support these girls. I'm telling you, you're going to be in for fun. So I know you're excited about the volleyball year.
Absolutely, man. I'm totally excited. And just to piggyback off what you said, man, last year, like I said, it was electric. That was another sport that set the tone moving forward into our other sports for the year.
Right.
And to be the first championship volleyball team ever was an amazing accomplishment. And, you know, like I said, we're just ready to keep the ball rolling.
Now, Coach, you've had some other new hires, including cross country. That is a big sport that is during the fall, which I'm telling you right now, those cross country athletes in the hottest part of Georgia, which is August, they're running miles upon miles. So they are phenomenal athletes, and I commend all of them. So who's going to be leading that program, and who's she taking over for?
Maggie Horner.
Okay.
And she's amazing. She'll be taking over for Dara Wright, who was our cross country coach last year. She was actually our middle school cross-country coach last year. We just moved her up. She's amazing with the kids. She's amazing with the community. She actually, the public can't see this, but you can see all the boxes and stuff behind them.
Right.
She's having an event tomorrow, you know, with cross-country. So she's another one. She's a hard worker, dedicated to the kids, dedicated to Pacelli. And I'm just ready to see how it goes under her reign.
I can't wait to either. Maggie Horton's going to do a fantastic job. Coach, also in the fall sports is softball. So last year was the inaugural year for the softball programs here at Pacelli. Only played about 5 or 6 games. Was about getting the field ready, understanding what it takes to play a full varsity season. You'd also play JV in middle school, so you got the interest going. So how did year one go under Coach Green, and how excited are you for year number 2?
Year one was a lot of trial and error, you know, putting a new program back, well, I won't say new, but, you know, revamping a program that has been out of existence for a few years.
Right.
It was trial and error. We had some ups, we had some downs, but we learned. And that's the most important thing. And to move to how we've been moving towards this year it's a testament of hard work and dedication.
Awesome.
You know, we're going into a full varsity schedule this year.
Awesome.
Coach Green has been working his tail off, recruiting, you know, getting equipment, getting field ready,
Right.
revamping locker rooms. So he's been doing a great job, and I'm excited to see. And you can hear it in his voice. He's excited about this year. So, you know, I know this is going to be another sport, and I tell people it's important because we all live off each other. You know, this is going to be another sport to set the tone. All these fall sports are going to set the tone of what we do in the winter, and then winter is going to do what we do in the spring. So.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm thrilled to see what softball is looking like this year.
And you see right over Coach's shoulder, that is actually one of the softball uniforms. We cannot wait to see them on the field. Again, they played some games last year, but more of a trial and error season like you just made mention, and now a full varsity year, and they're going to be taking on Calvary and Brookstone and the likes in the region, and hopefully can play at South Commons because that's where the softball state championships are at, right here in Columbus, Georgia. And then another sport that y'all just added this year is dance. So who is going to be leading the dance program, and what was the idea of starting a dance program here at Pacelli?
Absolutely. Miss Carrie Paris. She'll be leading our dance team. And so we, like I say, we talk a lot. We have ideas. You know, we bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
And dance came up in a lot of conversations. And then, you know, we had parents, you know, wondering about dance. And we just had community, you know, involvement, asking, hey, we should do dance. And we have kids. You know, one thing I say about Pacelli, we want to give our kids all the avenues possible. So, you know, we had kids come to us about dance. So, you know, we looked into it. We did our research. You know, we put a plan together, and now we're trying to see it, you know, go into existence. And
awesome.
Like I say, we have Miss Parrish coming on, who's amazing. She owns her own dance
studio.
studio.
This is a legendary dance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she also taught, well, she's right now teaching my niece. She taught my brother's wife, sister-in-law. So, I mean, she is a legend dance instructor in this area for sure. That's huge.
And she's thrilled to do it, you know. She's steady hitting me up with different ideas, new things she want to implement. So, you know, I'm excited about dance to be able to bring another sport back that was, you know, gone for a while. And I think the kids are excited as well, and that's what's most important.
All right, from dance to cheerleading, and you got a great cheer coach who I was able to talk to in part of the Pacelli Coaches Show last year. I was able to talk to every single coach, which is awesome, man. But who leads that program, and how excited are you? Because I think we talk about football setting the tone. Who sets the tone for Friday nights? It's the cheerleaders, but they also got their own competition as well. They got their game day competition, which they were to compete in last year and did really well in. So talk about who leads that program.
Miss Jamie Cook, another amazing coach.
Yeah.
You know, she loves what she does. She loves the kids, and she loves Pacelli.
Awesome.
And what I love about her is she's so selfless. You know, it's a lot of times where we might be in the gym, volleyball, basketball, and she, you know, she's willing to, you know, work with all the coaches, you know, just to get her time in, which that tells a lot about a person.
Right.
That tells a lot about a person. And she's amazing at what she does, you know, and she put others first, and I love that about her. And I'm excited to see about this year. You know, last year we went down to competition. Our girls did a good job.
Right.
They did a good job, and I commend them on that. But I see it in their eyes. They're ready to come back this year and do even better, and they have been working their tail off. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited.
Last but certainly not least, and it's kind of like on the threshold of end of fall, heading into spring when their season starts, which is flag football. Coach Cochran, you knew we were going to get to you. 3 straight state championships. In my opinion, he has the best flag football program going in this area. Now, Central just won a national championship, which is absolutely fantastic. We've seen other programs be successful in this area. Columbus High made it to a state championship, but no one's done it longer and more consistent at it than Zach Cochran and the Lady Vikings. They're going to replace some talent, including all-world player Michaela Hosley, but I still feel like as long as Coach Cochran's here, you feel really happy about this flag football team, don't you?
Listen, in Zach, we trust. Listen, he is amazing, man. You know, flag football is another sport.
Yeah.
That this was my first year just really watching flag football, understanding it. And it was another electric environment, man. And just to see him in his element, you know, I look at things different when I'm outside of coach mode and I'm in fan mode and I'm just viewing.
Right.
You know, he's another wizard at what he does, you know. So I'm excited. I know he's going to keep our program at the top tier level. Anything, you know, he's another willing coach. Whatever he can do, he does it. He loves the kids. He's great with our kids. And I'm excited, man. Listen, he's another one of those coaches. He gets it done. He's high level.
Yeah, and I can't wait this upcoming year trying to go for a four-peat,
Absolutely.
4 straight state championship. Right now, they are the Goliath of the GIAA flag football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got winter sports in spring still left here and sitting with an athletic director. Say the programs from the Beck Center. We'll be right back after this.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take to the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,500 off MSRP. Or plug into the future with the innovative Chevy Blazer EV. Lease yours today for just $299 a month. That's right, just $299 a month. People from all over the USA are coming to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to go to winter now. And in winter sports, Coach, esports, they just won their 3rd straight state championship. Coach Kim does a great job with esports. And listen, man, I was able to interview him, and he kind of laid the groundwork on how that goes about. I don't know if you've ever experienced an esports match until this past year, but it was pretty unique, man. Talk about Coach Kim and the great job he's done with esports.
Man, listen, Coach Kim is the real deal. He's the real deal, and he's one of those coaches. You just sit back and watch him, and you wait for him to come to you if he needs something. You just let him do his thing, and he does a great job. He is doing an amazing job with our esports kids. You know, he keeps it at a high level, and what I love about him also, you know, he's another good person. You know, that's one thing I strive myself on, and I talk to our staff about it all the time. I love good people,
right.
And we really have good people here at Pacelli.
From there, we go to wrestling. You talk about a good person, a guy that you can lean on is Adrian Anderson. Man, this guy, for one, has won multiple state championships. Now, didn't win a team state championship this year, was trying to go 3-peat, but wasn't able to, but had multiple individual state championships. So in my eyes, it's still just as important. But talk about Coach Adrian Anderson and having a legend like him who's a Hall of Famer, does a great job promoting the sport of wrestling. He does such a good job that the GIAA used him as a contributor for our show to talk all things wrestling. So how important is he to this staff, and how excited are you about wrestling?
Listen, he's another important piece to this puzzle, man. Wrestling was actually another sport that I went to this year. That was my first time being at a wrestling event, and it was amazing. It was amazing, you know. The way he conducts himself and his staff is bar none to any other staff member. This is one thing I seen with him. So I went to one of the wrestling events, and I forgot what school we were competing against, but the other school was just hooping, hollering, the coach is yelling, and I seen him sitting down, and he was just giving key pointers. So, you know, nonchalant,
right.
And I'm like, why is he just sitting there? Because I know when I get on the sideline,
I'm getting fired up.
And I asked one of the assistant coaches. He was like, because he does all the teaching at practice. So all the hard part is at practice. This is supposed to be the easy part. And I'm looking like, wow. And then he just coached them to a win. And I'm like, that is so amazing.
Right.
Like, so amazing. So he's another high-level guy. You know, we appreciate him. He's a legend, you know, and we're thankful to have him a part of our Pacelli family.
Adrian Anderson is doing an amazing job. Noah Nugent, who was a senior this past year, was one of those individual state champions. So congratulations to him. And the program's still going to be in great form as long as Adrian Anderson is at the head.
Absolutely.
And let's talk, before we get to your sport, Coach, swimming. Who leads that program, and how excited are you about the swimming boys and girls coach?
Absolutely. So that's Miss Kristen Turner. Miss Kristen Turner, who is our swimming coach and also our counselor, another amazing coach that we have on our staff.
Yeah, and she does an amazing job, obviously. You've been to some of the events. It's not easy teaching swimming, and that's another event that I was able to preview this year, and it was awesome. But Coach, that counselor part, she helps kids, you know, get to the next level, what their requirements are to be eligible. How closely are you able to work with her to make sure not just the swimming athletes, all the athletes are on the same page, especially when they're heading into their senior year and they're looking like they want to go to college? They got to make sure they got the credits to go somewhere.
Absolutely. I work with her a lot, you know, because one of the things that we promote here is Who are you outside of your sport?
Right.
So, we have to help them get to that next level, and that starts in the classroom.
Basketball. We're here. Back-to-back times that the Pacelli Vikings not only go back-to-back in boys, they go back-to-back in girls. Coach, this past year was unbelievable, man. You come in, and obviously everybody's talking about you lose the player of the year in Jaden's Ford. Coach Corey Black has stepped away. What's Pacelli going to be? Oh, they'll be competitive. They'll be decent. They're in the GIAA. They'll at least be in like the quarterfinals or something. Coach, you went undefeated. You didn't lose a game. You beat 7A schools like Dothan, who was ranked top 3 in the state. You beat some top-notch schools out of Atlanta here in Georgia. To finish undefeated, to be on a 40-game winning streak, and to be a state champion. What was that first year like for you and just the guys believing in your message and not losing a game is pretty incredible, man.
Man, it was a surreal moment. Like I told my kids, we don't focus too much on tomorrow. We want to focus on today. And every day we came in, we literally got better. We focused on the day, we won the day. And they, like I said, when I came in, they received me, they received the system, they received my coaching staff, and they bought into what we were doing. What also helped those were some great kids.
Right.
Those were some great kids. I had great parents. That is so crucial when you're building a program, having great parents, great admin. And everyone bought in, everyone stuck together, and we really built a family.
Right.
And that showed every time we touched the court.
Jalen Bush, GIAA Player of the Year. He's going to be missed, Coach. He was a crucial part of this year. But now you got summer basketball going on right now as we head in transition into next year. How do you feel about the team? And now guys like Mekhi Williams are going to take on bigger roles now with Jalen moving on. Trenton Latham, another great leader for your team. But I feel like you're just as excited about this year as you were last year. But you talk about this is that ugly stage. You're just filling out your team. You're not trying to win a ring right now in June, right?
I love this moment. Well, first let me speak on those seniors.
Yeah.
Those were 4 amazing seniors.
Right.
I love them to death. Like I told them, we're locked in for life. And, they were true leaders. They led my team last year, and you've seen what happened under their leadership.
Right.
Moving into this year, I love this point. It's the summer. Like I say, it's the ugly period. We're learning new identities. We're learning new roles. We're learning what works, what doesn't work. I love it. I love it. I'm excited about my group moving up. Mekhi, Matt, Rowe, they moved up. They're playing well right now. They are playing real right now. We have our role players coming in, just learning each other off the court.
Right.
I'm big on that.
Building that chemistry, right?
Building that chemistry, because that's the only way you can perform on the court. So I love this moment right now. We just got done practicing not too long ago, and it was electrifying in there.
I can't wait. And by the way, you just played Pace Academy. Looked really good against a team that's 4A public school that's pretty good in the state of Georgia, Coach. So, and then you even had some 6A schools not wanting to play you. That's kind of where you're at right now as a program, Coach. But I'm excited about this upcoming year. Does a winning streak, is that something that's going to be in your head, or you don't care about that? You got the longest winning streak in the state of Georgia, one of the tops in the country. Is that something that you're going to talk about as you head into next year, or do you just put that on the back burner and whatever happens, happens?
I don't care about the winning streak. It's good to have, but like I tell my team every day, the only winning streak I want to have is in March.
Yeah, and winning that state
That's
championship,
it.
maybe.
That's it.
And talking about March, how about Bryant Thomas? 3 years on the job at Pacelli, quarterfinal appearance and back-to-back state championships. Now, he's having to replace the player of the year and all-world in Michaela Hosley, but he's got a lot of young talent coming back. He's also brought in some new additions this year. Talk about what Bryant Thomas means as an assistant AD, as a guy that's done an incredible job on the basketball court, changing this girls program to a perennial powerhouse, and someone that you actually look up to, Coach, because he actually coached you when you were playing back in the day.
Listen, Brian is a major asset. He is. He's a wizard at what he does, and he's going to get it done.
Right.
He's one of those ones that taught me about just constantly learning, listening, comprehending, and just going out and being available to see different stuff.
Right.
So we know he lost the top player
Right.
in Columbus, Georgia, but
Yeah.
my thing is I never doubt him.
Right.
You know, he's going to find a way, and you see that as he coached in games.
Right.
You know, you'll be wondering like, man, what's going to happen? And then next you know he up too. So he's great to have. Like I said, he keeps you on your toes,
Yeah.
and he's always steadily trying to get better.
Yeah.
And that's all you ask for.
Exactly right. And we're excited about this upcoming year for Bryant Thomas, who is involved with almost every sport. I see him. He was at the soccer state championships, which we'll get into here in a moment. He's always there with you, supporting and being just a good friend and someone
Absolutely.
that is out there helping out each program, not just his own, just like you. And we're excited about it because now we're trying to get a three-peat for the boys and girls in winter sports.
Absolutely.
All right, now let's go to the spring sports, Coach. And we got quite a few of them. I actually got to pull my phone out so I can see the list of sports. Let's first start with tennis. Who leads the tennis programs for girls and boys?
Miss Christy Bates. She's another amazing coach. One thing I love about her is every time you see her, she is going to look fly.
Oh, trust me, when we did the coaches show, she's coming in with her full tennis gear on.
Yes.
And she can play too.
Listen, her wardrobe is amazing every time you see her. She's another one that does great with the kids. The
Right.
kids love her. They love her. I was able to catch some tennis matches. She does an amazing job, and she's another high-level coach that we are appreciative to have in our program.
And Coach Bates also is losing Kendall Isaacs, who was a phenomenal senior, great flag football player, excellent tennis player. She's now graduating and moving on, but she'll do she's done an excellent job
Absolutely.
in developing young talent, and that's what you want. And again, I know we keep talking about all the state championships. I mean, it's hard not to when you're winning, and you've got so many over the last couple of years, but the main thing is developing talent to go to the next level, Coach.
Absolutely.
Winning's great, but developing boys and girls that can play at the next level, that's even better. Let's talk about track and field because we got a new coach who's going to be leading track and field this year.
Absolutely. Miss Deidre Rosser. She was actually the assistant coach last year.
Okay.
So she'll be taking over for our track program. I'm excited about her. She's high level. She knows what she's doing, and she's a proven winner. I actually had her over at Stewart County.
Oh, wow.
When I won that championship over there. So she's been with me along this transition, and I'm just excited to see where she takes us next.
I can't wait to see it either, Coach, and I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity. Golf, who leads those programs, Coach?
So we have Trey Upshaw,
Okay.
Which is he's the quiet assassin. He doesn't say much, you know. He stays in his lane, but he gets it done as well. You know, I was actually able. He chauffeured me around in a few golf matches. You know, and we have some amazing talent on the golf
we
field.
do.
Oh, we have some amazing talent. And me, my dad was a golf player. He was a good golf player, and I'm trying to get back into golf. So, you know, for me to be out there in that moment, seeing our kids, it was a special moment.
Yeah, it is, man.
special moment.
And I know a lot of them were able to participate in the golf GIAA state championships as well, including the girls too. So I know you had a lot of fun being able to go and see and Pacelli showcase those. So good job by Coach Upshaw. And now let's talk about the final two sports, Coach. We'll first start with baseball because the other two actually won state championships. I feel like we should maybe save them for last. But baseball had Coach Case Rasmus, who was leading the program last year, did a phenomenal job in year one, taking over for a guy and a legend in Adam Thomas. And now he's going to be moving on. He got a job in a pretty big public school in Alabama, in Gunnersville, and now you had an opening. So first talk about this past year, which I think Pacelli, with Villeos and the rest of the young talent, scrappy bunch that really turned some heads now. So the talent's there. So talk about this past year under Case Rasmus and what he meant, and then talk about the new hire that you just literally made a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely. I'm very appreciative of Coach Rasmus. He was an amazing asset to us while he was here. You know, the kids loved him, the staff, we all loved him. Great guy. And that's what I love more so about him. He's an even greater guy than he is a coach, you know, and that's one thing I love to see in a coach. Every time, you know, like I say, we used to share the weight rooms in the morning. We had 4 a.m. practices,
Nice.
Basketball on one side, baseball on the other side. So
Love
we're
it.
truly going to miss him. Moving forward, you know, I just hired Coach Matt Ward, who is another amazing guy.
Yep.
You know, one thing I love about him, listen, he's been blowing my phone up left and right since he started, which I love. I love that.
Yeah.
Just thinking of ideas and things he can do to get this, you know, program to rolling. You know, I just got a call before the interview about having them come in for batting practice and stuff, just things of that nature. You know, you love to see that in a coach. You know, you want a coach who's going to give it 110% every time, and that's what he's going to do.
I completely agree, Coach. And then, obviously, with your rival in Brookstone, they've won back-to-back state championship.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that's not the ultimate factor, but you see them being successful, you want to try to match them as they want to match y'all in sports like basketball and others that maybe they're not as good at as y'all are. So it's that competitive balance, Coach.
Absolutely.
But I think Matt Ward's a great hire. I've heard from multiple people that are big in baseball in this area. They think this guy is going to be an incredible development of talent, and it's going to take some time, but once he establishes his culture, he'll be a good winner.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you.
All right, last one, soccer. Alex Guja, 2 state championships in 3 years. He's been incredible for 6 seasons. And I was talking with Reese Lennig, who is a big part of Pacelli. And by the way, I can't believe we went this whole interview not mentioning Reese Lennig and Russ Lennig, Dave Plata, who's the voice of football, all these guys who are also a big part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live and our coverage with Pacelli. They're phenomenal. But Reese was talking about the fact that he played on some incredible soccer teams with Coach Guja, but they played in the public school, so it was really tough to get a state championship. And now he's seeing the benefits of those tough games and matches they had early in Coach Guja's career to now winning 2 in the last 3 seasons. Talk about him and being there, defeating Stratford. I was on the call for that team that just won it all last year. You lost to them last year. To avenge that in an incredible game, the number 4 seed beating the number 2, 3, and 1. That's pretty incredible to do, Coach.
Absolutely. I love Coach Alex, man. He is an amazing, and I can't say this enough, he is an amazing man. I love it. I love that about him. One thing I love about him, and I told him this, I watched them as the season went on. They really got better every game during the season.
Right.
And that's one thing I love when I look into coaches, the adjustments. He made adjustments that put them over the top to do what they did at the end, and 100%. That's amazing.
Yeah, 100%, man. And talk about Jack Fry, as I just made mention, who won GIAA Player of the Year. He was phenomenal. He had made some incredible defensive plays in that state championship win. And by the way, some other GIAA Players of the Year, Coach. How about Michaela Hosley in flag football and basketball? How about Jalen Bush in basketball? How about Caroline Hilton in volleyball? And then also Addie Christensen in girls soccer, and we'll go there. You talk about in Zach we trust. How can you not? Everything he touches, he wins. To win 2 state championships with 2 different sports. I know everybody talks about Charles Flowers, what he did at Shaw, which was awesome, winning in football and basketball. Football and baseball in the same calendar year. What Zach did was just as impressive. To win flag football and soccer in the same calendar year, that's tough to do, Coach. And to have a high-level program for 2 different programs is not easy to do. How impressed were you for them, who had that incredible year last year, undefeated, and they lose in that to the rival in the state championship game? For most programs, they go away. Not this program. And they were able to battle back and win that incredible game against Brookstone this year.
Man, listen, like I say, Zach is amazing. Zach is a hard worker.
Right.
Majority of the times when I'm leaving campus late, Zach is on campus. You know, he is one of those guys, he's going to find a way to get it done.
Right.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
And I think what he's done with this soccer program the last 6 years, man, he's turned it into now the powerhouse. And the past 2 seasons, they've been incredible. And we've pretty much wrapped a bow on everything that's going on here at Pacelli. Coach, I want to kind of put the final message to the Pacelli community, to the community outside of Pacelli that watches from afar and maybe cheers on what's upcoming for this 2025-2026 year for Vikings sports.
Listen, first I want to start it off just by thanking you all. You know, thanking the community, the boosters, our staff, our parents, our kids. You know, anybody affiliated with the Pacelli community, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because without you, none of this would be possible. As far as next year, you know, we just want to stay caught up in the grind. That's all we want to do every day, get our kids better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And, you know, we'll just live with the results.
Coach, we were able to do over 60 games this year on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Pacelli-wise. We were able to do another 40 coaches shows, 50 coach shows, so over 100 broadcasts, man. And the views were unbelievable. The support was unbelievable. And thank you for allowing us to be part of that ride, man. From the volleyball state championship, calling that, to calling the basketball state championships, the soccer, to being part of all the baseball games, the football games. Just an incredible year. Thank you so much. And we look forward to being a part of the 2025-2026 school year as well, man.
Listen, no, the thanks go to you all. Thank you to you all, because without you all, our kids wouldn't get highlighted the way they do, the community. And I'm thanking you for all the schools in Columbus, because we need people like you all, where we're highlighting our kids, and we are, just giving our kids their just due. So we thank you all.
And I can't wait for what's going to be an incredible year this year. That wraps up the first interview, part of our series here, Sitting with an Athletic Director, State of the Programs. Thank you again to Roger Beck and the Beck Center for hosting us, and we'll see you next time right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.